We are back! Yes, yet again. That's right. My brother from another mother, the master of remaster himself, Frank Jang, in the house. That's right. Oh yeah, brother. There you go, there you go. We're feeling cyberpunky-ish again. As you can see, I'm enhancing the punkish here. That's right. We got to represent cyberpunk. Yes, right. And I had a lot of fun with you, brother, not too long ago, talking about the Blade Runner, the Final Cut edition. That was fun revisiting that. So everybody watching right now, if you want to hear our thoughts on that, make sure you guys check it out. But it kind of led to us doing this. I mean, this wasn't planned. Just talking about Blade Runner, the Final Cut, I was just like, what the fuck happened to Blade Runner 2049? Which is what I could have technically labeled this episode. What the fuck happened to Blade Runner 2049? And it's like, man, what is going on here? So is Blade Runner 2049, excuse me, is it underrated? And it's just crazy because I completely, totally forgot that movie even existed. That's why this is a perfect episode for us to talk about it, because I never seen the movie, Frank. I've had the 4K. That's how obscure, this movie is to me. I've owned this. This is a beautiful steelbook, by the way. I've owned the 4K for several years. It's been on the shelf, and I completely forgot I had it.
Which steelbook was that? Which steelbook was that? Which one was that? Where did you get that steelbook?
A buddy in the UK got it for me.
Okay, so it's a UK one. That's why.
Yeah. You have what do you have?
I have the Best Buy steelbook.
Oh, that one's pretty dope too, though. Actually,
the Best Buy steelbook. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, lately I've been kind of getting away. Yeah, yours is nice.
Yeah.
Yours is nice. Yeah. So.
We said lately you've been getting away.
Yeah, lately I've been getting away from collecting steelbooks because, for one thing, the art, some of the more recent ones, I really don't like the art. You know, the artwork they use. Like, you know, I mean, I'm just mainly talking about Best Buy. So obviously here, Best Buy is like
right. The only one. The art is what makes us collect these things, really.
Of course, but I just feel like lately some of the more recent steelbooks, you know, the art is just doesn't attract me. Like a few days ago, they announced the Suicide Squad,
right? And
they had this artwork for the steelbook from Best Buy.
Yeah.
I look at it like, no.
It's like really generic.
I mean, like the original, the actual cover for the actual 4K was better than the steelbook. So I'm trying to get away from it. And also the fact that, you know, these are like slightly pricier, right? Of course, they're always like $5-10 more, and then if you don't, or they're
hard to find.
Right, and if you don't remember to order it, they run out. So you have to keep keep on top of it. You have to like check almost every week to see what titles are coming out on steelbook with an artwork that I actually like enough to pre-order it. So, but anyway, so in addition to the steelbook, 4K of course, I also have. This is good. This is the 3D version. I believe, I think the US also releases. I actually got this in Canada.
I think it's in here too, the 3D one.
Yeah, I'm not surprised if UK has the 3D version.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got this from Canada because when this came out, I happened to be vacation in Vancouver, and and the day it came out, they also have street day, same street day, Tuesdays. So the day this came out was the day I was leaving Vancouver. I have to drive back to Seattle and then fly back home. So the moment the Vancouver or Richmond, actually I was in Richmond, which is next to the airport. The moment that Best Buy opened, I dashed in and bought this film.
Okay. There you go. Nice. How was it in 3D? I don't have a 3D TV or player. It's really good.
I saw this in 3D IMAX.
Oh, how was that?
It was fantastic.
Was it insane?
It's insane. It is insane. Yeah.
Well, let's get into it. Is Blade Runner 2049 underrated? We're going to make that decision by the end of this episode, but let's get into it a little bit. So, plot synopsis. So, first, this movie came out in 2017, and the plot synopsis is you have a young Blade Runner's discovery of a long-buried secret leads him to track down former Blade Runner Rick Deckard, who's been missing for 30 years. Frank, I'm going to let you say the director's name.
Denis Villeneuve.
Yes. There, yes, that guy. This movie won actually 2 Oscars, I believe, for
yeah.
cinematography and visuals. I'm not surprised at all.
Finally, too, for Roger Deakins. Finally, I mean, like
That
he's been
guy.
nominated. When this film got nominated, he has been nominated for like 21 times.
Oh my God, 21
Never got it.
times.
Never won it.
Wow.
This film finally did it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Denny, who's doing Dune, by the way, I'm surprised Roger Deakins is not a part of Dune. I'm actually surprised because unless I missed it, but I was looking at IMDb, I didn't see his name. I mean, Dune still looks good visually from the trailers, but I was like, you'd think they would stick together because in Prisoners, man, that's just a straight up thriller, and that movie looked amazing.
Right.
You know?
And then they did Sicario. I think Sicario,
Yeah,
right?
Sicario, another amazing.
Sicario. But he didn't do Arrival, did he? I don't think he did
Yeah.
Arrival.
Oh,
He do
that
Arrival
I'm not
as well?
sure. I know Denny directed it, but I'm not sure if he did
Right.
cinematography for that.
I'm not 100% sure that the Roger did the cinematography on Arrival, but it could be anything, scheduling,
Yeah.
conflicts and
Yeah.
stuff.
But wow, I did not know he was nominated for like over 21 times. That's insane.
yeah.
Here. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Harrison Ford as Rick Deckard. Why did my Harrison Ford turn into Billy Bob Thornton from what you call? What's the name of that movie? Damn it!
Right.
I like French fried potatoes. I don't know why. Horrible impressionist, as usual. Ryan Gosling as Kay, Ana de Armas as Joy, Dave
beautiful.
Bautista as Sapper Morton. You got Robin Wright here as Lieutenant Joshi, and who else do we have here? This is a huge cast here. Jared Leto as Neander Wallace, and we get some special Well, one of them is a CGI cameo, and the other one is a real cameo. We have Edward James Olmos makes a little peek in here as Gaff. So, first impression, since this is my first time seeing it, literally today, I saw it today. So I'll give my impression, but since you saw it in the theater, what did you have high expectations because of your love for the first movie?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Very high expectation. The trailer looks great. Visual look great. So I really have pretty high expectation that this film is going to at least be as good as the first one, if not better. Because I've by then I already seen Arrival, so I kind of I knew Denise is no hack, right? I mean,
Right.
I think he's the right man for the job. So, and I also knew from Arrival that this film is going to be probing, like it's kind of like an artsy kind of sci-fi film,
Right.
like Arrival,
Yeah.
So that was kind of like my expectation, and it really met my expectation.
Oh,
with
nice.
With a few caveats we can go over later.
We'll get into that. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I was impressed the moment the film started. I felt that this was being the story was being told very confidently by him. The visuals are fantastic. Like I said, I saw it in 3D, so the 3D is just amazing, and and the sound and everything. And I think that is something. I mean, like it's something that I expected anyway from before watching it. But I like the fact that this is not a rehash of the first film. This is really an extension, a continuation of the story, and that makes it a sequel. Really, I mean, look at Empire Strikes Back, Godfather 2, and like recently, what film that's like that? That's good as a sequel. Can't think of any. but
It's very rare.
Well, very rare, right? It's very rare to have sequels where is good or sometimes better than the original because of the fact that it is not a rehash. It continues the story. It expands on the theme that was brought out in the first film. And this was what I liked the most about this sequel. This sequel touches on the themes that were explored in the first film, and then it expanded it so much more.
Nice. So just kind of give us a little brief plot synopsis. What exactly has happened with the whole blackout and all that? What's going on now with the, Tyler's gone under the corporation. So what's going on right now?
So the blackout basically wiped out most of the records of the replicants. And so when Kay discovered this box Well, let's go back to the opening first. Well,
Sure.
He's retiring an older version of the replicant played by Dave Bautista, who was fantastic. I mean,
He was
that
good.
one scene,
Yeah.
fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I think he got better and better in every movie that he made. Like every time he made a new movie, he gets better and better.
Yeah.
But he was fantastic in this film.
Yeah.
So anyway, Kay was assigned to retire the older generations of replicant because they felt that they were still could be a threat. Right.
Right.
They could rebel or what have you.
Right.
And so, later, of course, we found there's this underground movement too. But anyway, so after he retired, Dave Bautista's a replicant, he found this box underneath the tree with bones in it.
Right.
And so, and also there's a birthday mark on the tree.
Mm-hmm.
So he took the box back to the police headquarters to have them examined. And it turns out it was the bones of a dead child. Right.
Right.
That child,
Mm-hmm.
which implies that somehow replicants are now being able to reproduce.
What?
I don't what. So again, like I said, this was an expansion on
Right.
the theme in the first film.
Right.
The first film,
Did I say the corporation right? I may have said the right
well,
name.
it became the Wallace Corporation now. Tyrell, right?
Tyrell. I said Tyler. Tyrell. Okay.
Tyrell went bankrupt or what have you. And then
This is why you're here, Frank. To correct me.
Right.
I'm always botching names and stuff.
Right. So anyway,
yeah.
And then further complicating matter was the fact that when Kay went back after he analyzed the box, realized that's that child possibly from a replicant. He went back and saw the date carved into the trunk, and he recognized it from his own memory. A memory of a wooden toy horse.
Right.
Now, from the outset, we already knew he's a replicant. He himself knew he's a replicant, unlike Decker, for instance. Like Decker, in the ambiguity there. We'll talk about the ambiguity of Decker later. But here, from the outset, we knew right away. He knew he's a replicant. Everybody knew he's a replicant, and his job is just to retire old replicants. So anyway, but now seeing this birthday that triggered his memory now, because replicant memories are artificial. From his holographic girlfriend, Joy, played by Ana de Pumas, or whatever her name is. And she's fantastic. This is like really her big breakout role,
Everyone's favorite AI hologram person. I think everyone would want her in their house. Don't you agree?
And that book that she's holding, The Pale Fire, that was actually a reference to the interlink test that Kay the words that Kay, the words that Kay has to listen to cells interlink, all that stuff.
Right.
That's actually from that Nabokov book that Joy was holding.
Okay.
So anyway, so her AI girlfriend believes that this is evidence that Kay, maybe you're not a replicant. You're born. You're not created.
Right.
So, and then he went back to the LAPD headquarters, looked for the records, and realized that there were twins born on that day with identical DNA. But only the boy is listed as alive. The twins was, a boy and a girl. But only the boy is listed as alive. So he eventually tracked the trace to this orphanage in the San Diego ruins, and he found the horse in the ruins, which further convinced him that he's not a replicant. So because he recognized, the orphanage from the memory and found a horse and stuff. So he began to realize that he may be Rachel's son.
Right.
Because Rachel, by that time, we knew that has died from childbirth. She gave birth to the twins, and supposedly the son survived, but the girl did not. So, but now he failed the test. Remember, he failed his interlink test now. For whatever reason, I think it's because of the fact that his memories are now triggered. So his inner soul has been kind of awakened.
Right, he's a little imbalanced now.
Imbalanced. Exactly imbalanced. So now he couldn't make the test. He couldn't pass the test, and now that makes him a replicant.
Yeah.
And Joshi said, you have like 48 hours or whatever to either pass the test or he'll be retired himself. So now he has to Kay has to really find out exactly where he's from, who he really is. Yeah. Which leads him to Las Vegas. Together with AI girlfriend Joy, and he found none other than Deckard.
Harrison Ford.
Hey, Harrison Ford. Yeah, what are you doing here? And Decker told him that I'm the father of Rachel's child.
Right.
But the birth records were scrambled to protect the child's identity.
Right.
So it was not because of the blackout. Even though the blackout did exist, that a lot of people's DNA records, they're all wiped out. But in this case, Decker said, I actually deliberately scrambled the record. So I want to protect the kid because obviously the kid wouldn't have this 4-year lifespan.
They were getting hunted. He's like,
getting hunted,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So what he did was he said he left the child in the custody of the Replicant Freedom Movement.
Right.
So again, further convinced Kay that maybe I'm your son or what have you. Or, at the very least, I'm not a replicant.
Right.
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 But then Wallace, assassin Love started get into the way, kidnapped Deckard, destroy Joy. Remember the last word she said was "I love," which means again, like I said, that's again a further expansion of the theme. Not only in the first film, the replicants try to seek love, and here,
right.
Denise, Monsieur Villeneuve, actually, Monsieur Villeneuve actually shows us that maybe replicants now have feelings, right? I mean, because by her expressing her love for Kay, again, the theme is further expanded, so that maybe replicant, either desires love or wants to be, loved and wants to love somebody. So anyway. Yeah. So, but then Kay was rescued by the Replicant Freedom Movement, and unfortunately, he found out from the movement's leader that the child that survived was not the son; it was actually the girl.
Right. Right.
So Kay now realized not only is he not Rachel's kid, but that the memory, these are all artificial.
Right.
Those memories are the daughters. Those
so
are
he's not real.
Wars, those memories are is the daughters because they were implanted, by the designer. That girl, the Dr. Stelline, the replicant memory designer, right?
Right.
Who actually turns out to be Decker's daughter. So,
I know.
Right. So that was the one. She was the one who survived, but the son, who we never found out who really was, did not. But again, like I said, that confirms that Kay was just a replicant, nothing more. So even though he was asked to kill Deckard got kidnapped by Love, and now he decided to basically fulfill Deckard's wish of reuniting with his daughter by rescuing him and brings him to the daughter's lap. And
and scene.
And sort of, and
kind of. Yeah. So very well said. Thank you for explaining all of that, because I'm knowing Samurai, I'm going to botch it. And then some stuff happened, and the guy flew down. He hit him through the walls. That's would have been heaven if I did it. But all right. So now, from my perspective, I hated this movie. Starship Troopers 2 is better. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Frank. I always get you, Frank.
Okay, that's it. Goodbye. Bye, everybody. Bye.
You should know my personality by now. But I really enjoyed it, man. I have, again, like you, I have my nitpicks. I'm interested to know what the nitpicks are. We'll get into that in a little bit. I'm wondering if it's the same type of nitpicks. It might be the same, actually. I enjoyed it, man. I really enjoyed the film. I wish I didn't wait 5 billion years to watch it finally. But now's the perfect time, because now we can discuss it. It was destiny, Frank. It was destiny. Dave Bautista was great. And this whole opening, this was a fight.
Yeah.
This was like, I'm going to slam his head up the fucking wall 8 times. We're going to brawl. I enjoyed this fight here.
And what's fascinating to me about this particular scene in the fight, remember, Dave Bautista is the first generation replicant, right? Let's call the old replicant the first generation. And Kay obviously is a new generation, or second generation, what have you. The first generation replicant still has that superhuman capability. He breaks the walls and stuff. Whereas Kay does not. Kay doesn't have superhuman capability like the first gen. Which again, like I said, is the expansion or the continuation of what happened in the first film. The humans wary of what is going to, the fact that they don't want the replicant revolution to start again. They don't want another, what's his name? Richard Hauger's, a baddie. They don't want another war baddie. right? So
Right.
when designing or creating these new generation of replicants like K, they took out the superhuman strength so that they wouldn't be able to fight against the human. So that to me again is, like I said, another continuation. That it is a logical continuation of what happened from the first film.
I
That
mean, it's
things have gone to the
yeah,
point where there are some changes. You knew right away you're still in this world. You're still in this,
right,
this LA, the 2040 LA, but things are markedly different,
right.
and
I
so
mean, he's
that's
still enhanced in a way. I mean, he's a lot stronger than a regular
oh
human. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, of
he's
course,
enhanced in a way a
right,
little bit.
right,
But
but
yeah,
not as strong as the first generation.
right, right, right. But yeah, I love the opening fight, and like you said, like this was totally different from the first movie in terms of in terms of plot. It expanded on the universe, like you said. And this is the scene where after he beats up Batiste here, and then he finds the box of bones underneath, and then our mystery of investigation story begins.
Right.
It was really interesting, man.
I'm glad you showed that little that shot there of him with the tree, because that is an obvious homage to Andrei Tarkovsky's film, The Sacrifice.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of Tarkovsky homage and references in this film, and I think some people are disappointed by this film because of how glacial it sometimes moves, especially in the middle part.
right,
But I think it has to do with the fact that Villeneuve is trying to really, I wouldn't want to say mirror, but like pay respect or just like do something that's similar to Tarkovsky sci-fi film like Sacrifice and earlier or Mirror or even
right,
Mirror.
right,
So, but for those who are not familiar with Tarkovsky film, they might find some parts of this film are a bit slow.
right.
Yeah, but then like that shot of the tree, and there's lots of these visual references to Tarkovsky.
Oh, okay. Well, I did not know that. Well, that's interesting.
Yes.
Thanks for pointing that out. So what again? You mentioned their relationship. What did you think about it?
I love it. I think, I think, whereas in the first film, the replicants sometimes act more human than the humans.
Right.
Here is kind of like another example. I mean, obviously, I think Ryan Gosling, by the way, was perfect casting. He obviously cannot emote too much emotion because it's replicant, but just
Right.
the face. I mean, that sad face. I mean,
Yeah.
you can just tells you how longing he is for whether it's freedom or being human or
Right.
what have
Right.
you.
And he can't touch her in this scene here. He
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
really
he-
feel
you know,
her
he-
yet.
Not really, not until that menage a trois scene.
Yeah, yeah. I was not expecting this out of nowhere. I was like, well, all right now. Okay, she called her, by the way.
Oh,
This was
yeah.
not Kay's idea at all. She called
Right.
her and
Right.
said, hey, let me holograph over it and you can have fun there.
Right. I mean, this is really, I mean, each of them is
She
trying
looked-
to
she
seek
looked-
his own desired form of
She
connection.
looked jealous afterwards, too. I was surprised
Right.
by that for an AI.
Right, but like I said, in that in that scene, the three of them, they all want to be connected, right? Kay wants to be connected with Joy. Joy wants to be connected with Kay, and the prostitute in some way obviously wanted to connect with Kay as well. So
Right.
you have this film. I mean, a scene where the three characters have their own desire being carried out through this. I mean, you can say kind of superficially kinky, but it's really tender. It's a tender sex scene. It's
Yeah.
really tender. So
Yeah.
you have, you basically have a human, a replicant, and a hologram.
Right.
And to me, that's
Yeah.
actually one of the best scenes in the film. And also, I mean, in addition to the earlier scene where, like you said, they're in the rain, he tried to caress her. Of
Right.
course, he couldn't really touch her at that time. So
Yeah.
which led to obviously the scene with the prostitute.
Right.
And again, like I said, that's another expansion on the theme that was touched upon in the first film.
Right. Yeah, that's right. You're right. But again, I agree with you on the visuals, man. It's like ridiculous. So now, I failed. I didn't see this in theater when it came out. I'm sure it would have been even a cooler experience to see it on the big screen, or even like you said, 3D. But at least my first chance of seeing it, my first shot of seeing it, at least was in 4K. You know what I mean? So the visuals on 4K picture are nuts. So at least I still was able to appreciate the cinematography in this is insane.
Mm-hmm.
This is insane, man. And this is just a pixelated GIF I'm showing right now.
Mm-hmm.
This does not do any GIFs I show for this movie does not do it justice.
Yep. I mean,
But
the
it's
visual is breathtaking. Yeah. I mean, look at this. I mean, the design. I'm glad that you mentioned this because I forgot to show you. Well, actually, I'm planning to show you this
ooh,
book.
swag.
If you really like the visuals in this book, you owe yourself to getting this book. The art and soul.
Let me blow it up.
Yeah,
Oh, there we go.
Art and Soul of Blade Runner 2049.
Oh,
it's like a
nice.
huge coffee table book. I don't think it's very expensive right now. I think you can probably get it for like maybe around $40.
Nice.
Yeah, there's tons of beautiful, like gorgeous pictures. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's hard for me to flip them because it's so.
I know the book's so huge.
Sorry about that, but yeah, I highly recommend. Highly recommend this book. So
nice.
Yeah, there's several books made about the film. I think this is the best one. So,
right.
Yeah, there's even a book that there's just a whole storyboard of the film. Denise did a storyboard for the film.
Okay, all right. Yeah. But yeah, it's one of the huge positives of this film is the visuals and the cinematography, obviously. But another huge positive for me was it felt within the same world. Exactly. Except it expanded and you saw new areas.
Exactly.
But it was like you could literally go from the first movie right into this.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's another great thing about this film because there's no need to reinvent the world. There's no need. He just need to expand on it. He can just use the world that was created in Ridley Scott's film.
Right.
Just expand it and then delve even deeper into that world. And all the concerns suggested by the earlier film. Like we mentioned about the desire to be human, the need for love and stuff,
Yeah.
And I mean, but of course, the human-android relationship, how
right,
how in many ways, the replicants here are more slave than than in the first film. If you think about it, Joy is really just a sex toy. Right. And the prostitute character. I mean, the prostitute is not replicant, of course. But what I'm saying is, like in this film, women tend to be, treated, as a more like a lower class.
Right.
The treatment of women in this film was really pretty bad.
What's Jared Leto's character's name again?
Which one?
Jared Leto. What's his character's name again? It's
Jared Leto. Lux?
Jared Leto.
Wait. Oh, Jared Leto. Wallace. Yeah.
Wallace.
I mean, remember Wallace? And when
he took the technology from the previous company, enhanced it, but he kind of put them back to being slaves again.
Yes, and also remember that pretty shocking scene when he had this replicant born literally right in front of him, and then kill her right on the spot. It's almost like I'm. Like he's more God than Tyrell. Tyrell, basically he's implying that I can create you, but also I can create your life, but I can also take the life just like that.
It's a new angel.
Lots of biblical references in this film, man.
Yeah, he did have he was a cyberpunk Jesus.
I know
in a way in this movie. But yeah, that tripped me out. He just created a new replica and just said, I'm done with it, and killed her and walked off. All right.
Yeah.
But he supposedly what he's doing is for the greater good, right? Because famine was involved. After the blackout, things went really bad. So he, with his technology and enhancing and the old school replica design and enhancing them and making sure these new replicants are they just obey. That's it. You know what I mean?
Right.
His technologies kind of helped out with the famine problem a little bit, and it's kind of like it seems like he's doing doing things for the greater good, but what you find out later is he's just like we need to take shit over. Like we need to multiply. Right. Our angelic army.
Right. When he found out that Rachel was able to
take over Eden.
Exactly. When Eden, again, another biblical reference. So, when he finds out that Rachel was able to reproduce, he wants to know why, because he felt inferior now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He felt inferior to the replicants. Because like, in this way, replicants kind of like one up him by being able to reproduce, because that's not something that they created. That's not a technology that they created. All they did was to being able to create replicants, but not not the fact that replicants themselves can reproduce.
He brought something really interesting when he was talking to Decker, and we'll get to that in a second. I want to know your theory on that. But yeah, let's go back to this really quick. So here's a shot of course, Wallace's place there.
Right.
And where Kay's doing his investigation and kind of going on a tour here with Replicant Bitch. That's what we're going to call her.
Loved by Sophia Hurks. Yes.
Call her Replicant Bitch.
Yeah, I think she's a German actress. I think.
I mean the character. I'm just calling the character.
Oh yeah.
And he's going on his investigation and stuff like that, and like I was saying earlier, we did get a little cameo from our boy here.
Oh yeah, Gaff.
Because he wants to know the connection, between him and Decker.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the line he says in there. What did he say? Something about his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I remember he said something about Decker's eyes. I was like, oh, I see.
Remember last time we talked, and you asked me, is Decker a replicant? I told you yes, and it's because of that shot with the eye.
That one shot in the eye, yeah. Mm-hmm. And of course, he's got to do his little paper.
Right, but now this is like that's not a unicorn anymore. I think this is more like a sheep.
Yeah.
And again, no, that's another biblical reference, sheep, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was cool seeing him in there. And is he Colonel Sanders now? Or he's working is he ice cream truck guy? What's going on here? But no, he's in the old folks home. But yeah, going back to the interesting part about the movie where Kay is starting to think he's Decker's son or thinking he's real.
Mm-hmm. Pinocchio.
And then he goes to visit the lady who creates all the memories.
Correct.
All of a sudden, when she tells him, no, that memory that you keep having about the wooden horse and all that, no, that was implanted, and he flips out.
Yeah.
He flips out.
Oh, yeah.
And this was a powerful little scene here because he's never, up to this point, showed this much emotion.
Exactly, yes.
He flips out, yelling that it's real. I know it's real. He completely flips out.
Just like Rachel before, she thinks it's real. The memory of Tyrell's niece.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a really powerful scene. Even the girl was sad. She was crying like she was the one that gave him the memories. But she felt bad, and
right.
And but yeah, it was interesting, the whole wooden horse memory. You know what I mean? It was very interesting. And, making the movie intriguing. Let's figure out the mystery we got going here. But here's another great shot of the cinematography.
Oh yeah,
look at this.
Well, I'm sure the background is more green screen, but yeah, I mean,
still, it's great. Yeah. Look at that, man. It's insane.
Yeah.
Is that shot in the book?
Yeah, the shot, I think so, but I'm really impressed with this shot. To me, this is like the ultimate money shot.
Oh, right in the middle when he's walking.
Yeah, when he went to Las Vegas.
That
was just an awesome shot.
Yeah,
and again,
that was amazing.
Andrei Tarkovsky comes into mind, because Tarkovsky have seen shots like that. So
right.
Yeah, I think I know we're going to talk about nitpicks, but I think one thing that kind of differentiate this film from the first film was, in the first film, there are many mysteries that were never solved. The replicant, like, is Decker a replicant? Did Rachel really have 4 years lifespan? We really didn't find out.
Right.
Here the thing is, mysteries that were raised in this film were explained or reviewed. And I think in some way that kind of hurt the film just a little. Because
hurt this film or the original?
Hurt this film.
Oh,
just a little.
Really?
Because I think it just took away some of the mystery, and but then of course it has its worthy moment, like when you found out eventually that Kay is not a human. Of course,
right?
That is sad, right? That's pretty devastating.
Yeah.
But some of the other stuff, I guess my point is saying that I was just hoping that not all the mysteries that were raised in this film was resolved. That's all.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, I see.
Keep the ambiguity a little bit,
Yeah, answer a few questions, but not everything. leave
Exactly.
something to the imagination. Okay, I get you. Yeah, I understand it. Robin Wright's character was kind of cracking me up, man, in this movie. Like it kind of sucked when she ended up dying, but it was kind of like she was a trip, man. She was just like, hey, you're walking around here with, she was telling Kay, you're walking around here with no soul. What are you caring? You're doing just fine without a soul, Kay. Right. I was like, man, that was kind of fucked up. Tell him that. That was kind of fucked up.
Right, and I think ultimately she really doesn't care about the replicants, if you ask me.
No.
I mean, to her, replicants are tools. They're expendables. They do the bidding of humanity in many ways, right?
And she was freaking out. That's why she sent them on that mission. She was like, we cannot have this getting out that replicants can breed. We cannot do this.
Right, if replicants were to rise up. Right. There's no way to contain them. So again, I think she reminded me a lot of like a slave master. To her.
Yeah, she was a trip.
Slave, right. She's really like, and I think Robin did a wonderful job.
Oh yeah.
Getting that coldness across. In a way, kind of like in the scenes with Kay, it's kind of like, does she really care about him or not?
Right.
She tends to sometimes show some kind of like concern for his well-being. But in the end, no, I don't think so. I think she is just, she's just precious.
and then we had that one scene where she was sitting on the couch drinking booze, and then she's all like, in front of Kay, and then she's all like, "Hey, if I finish this bottle all the way, what do you think happens after that?" I was like, what's that? What was that? Like that just came out of nowhere.
Right.
I guess she wanted some burn it. I was like, wow, that was unexpected. Okay. But yeah, she got fucked up by replicant bitch.
Yeah.
What did you think? What did you think of this actress and this character?
I like it. I think in many ways she's also a victim. I think I think she's jealous of Kay's pursuit for humanity.
Yeah.
And I think she knew her. I'm pretty sure she knew she's a replicant herself. And to see Kay trying to be human or trying to find out whether he's human, I think it kind of make her jealous.
Yeah.
Make her feel envy, and she's kind of misguided. In her own misguided way.
When they fight later and she knocks up, she thinks she defeats him. She walks away. She's like, "I'm the best." She says, "I'm the best."
I'm the best. Exactly.
I was like, "Whoa, that came out of nowhere."
Right. It's almost like, I'm the best. I mean, she's implying I'm the best replicant.
Right. Yeah.
Right? I'm not just the best in what I do, but I'm the best replicant because I can do it all. So, but I think she's also a victim. Yeah, but this scene, man, that's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's just dreamlike, man.
It's just dreamlike, and also, in a way, it foreshadows what happened last year with the wildfire. Remember last year when we had that wildfire, the whole sky was like orange for like a.
Yeah.
I don't know about LA, but like here in the Bay Area, we have like orange skies for like almost 2 days. But one day was especially. It's like the moment I went outside, I took pictures of it too. The moment I went outside and I saw the sky, it's like, oh my God, that's Blade Runner 2049 right there.
It's Blade Runner. Well, another thing that was reminding me of what's going on now is everybody walking around with a goddamn mask. Like everybody wearing a mask in Blade Runner 2049. I was like, this is years before. Who knew?
But I mean, like that scene that you just showed before, I just like how he. There's two things I admire about this particular scene. One is the fact that he has the nerve not to have Harrison Ford show up until almost the second hour, second half of the film.
Yeah.
I mean, I think at that point that's almost like the 90-minute or 100-minute point of the film. So only by almost a 2-hour mark do you see Harrison Ford showing up. I mean, that's ballsy, because
that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. No, that's a good thing. I'm not saying it's bad at all. No, I think that's great. I think that's great because it serves the story, and the story requires that he shows up at a particular point in the film. The second thing I like is just how he was able to converge all these different elements, like that building as he walked towards the building. Those characters are Korean, so it makes you think: why would they have Korean characters on this casino building in Vegas? Why is that? So. Yeah,
Interesting.
If you go back, see, as he approaches, it's two giant Korean characters. Yeah, this one right there. See, those are Korean characters.
Oh wow, I didn't even know
he's
that.
in North Korea.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that. Wow,
yeah, but it just makes you think. It just makes you think, right? Because in the first film, obviously, there were Japanese influences. Now, he's adding other stuff. He's adding really other cultures now.
Yeah.
In the earlier scene, as he walk in the street, you can see like Hindi, like other Asian cultures,
right,
into some Middle Eastern culture mesh into the cityscape. So I just find that pretty fascinating.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that was Korean. Interesting.
Yeah.
And then of course when he goes inside, then he meets Decker, the man, the legend himself, and we have our trailer shot starring Harrison Ford as Harrison Ford stars as Decker. Got to get our shot here. Okay. Yeah. Very well done. Very well done.
So in a way,
fuck you doing in my house?
And I like the fact now that's one mystery that I kind of admire. The film still really didn't tell you exactly whether Decker was a replicant or not.
Right.
It never blurred out. Oh, you're Decker. You're replicant. Although there were hints. Because when
you're talking about in this movie.
In this movie, of course.
Okay.
This movie. Remember when he went to see Wallace? I think Wallace said something about. There was a line that he said. I'm trying to remember. Like you were like you were something else or what have you, Mr. Decker. Like to imply that he may be a replicant because he's implying that what we've created. That the fact that we created something like you. So that's pretty amazing. Yeah, I got to go back and watch that.
Yeah, I got to go back.
But I think he mentioned that. I'm trying to remember that line. But
there is that one. There is that one line, but when they have that conversation, which we're almost there, we're getting there. But we have the little confrontation between Decker and Kay, and kind of a hilarious fight. Was it the casino room or whatever? And Elvis hologram was going on, and he's like, "Wait a minute, I like that song," and it's just like, can we stop punching each other and go to the bar?
Yeah, that was
I have to give Harrison Ford props in this movie. It seemed like he actually made an effort.
Oh yeah.
Like it seemed like he really was, being a legend. Like really acting very well. And Rise of Skywalker, it was fun seeing him come back as Han Solo, but you could tell he was just there just to goof around and just. I'm just there for fun. Yeah, I'm there for paycheck. Yeah. I want to get killed off, and then I'm done with this shit, right? But in this, you could tell he's really, really like making an effort. Like I love the bar scene, man. When they start finally talking to each other. His acting was really good, really good. Especially,
look at how world weary he was. After what he's gone through, his wife has died.
Oh yeah,
one of the kids has died. And he has to hide. He has to hide his daughter from being chased down by Wallace, and and he's never met her. He's never met the child. So I think Ford played it beautifully. And of course by now he's appreciated the first film more than when he made that film. So
I know. I remember those videos you sent me of him. Was it David Letterman?
David Letterman show. Yeah,
he was just like
nonchalant. He was like
he was just like whatever.
I was told to promote this film, so here I am. Right?
Yeah, that's about it, really. But we get some solid action here. Of course, when they finally find out. Now, in your opinion, how did they find Kay?
I think Love was really
the computer, right? After she killed Robin Wright's character.
She killed Robin Wright's Joshi, and then from the computer, she realized where he went.
That's right. Okay. So, but some solid action here. Kay doing his thing, taking dudes out, especially right here. Boom, boom, boom. You guys are done. Great shot. Look at that shot.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. That's great, man. That's really good stuff.
In a way, the fact that the trailer kind of like show the action side, I think kind of hurt the marketing. I mean, it hurt the reception too, because that's how marketing is, right? We got to make sure that the bums in the theater. So let's just show the action part so that people think this is an action film. All. I mean, it's just like the first film is not an action film.
No.
So I understand why some people would have been disappointed by the film.
Oh, I was reading, I was scrolling up all the IMDb comments. Man, it's pretty brutal. But to each his own. That's fine.
Right.
But back to Space Jesus, we have the scene where it's him and Decker. Really good acting from Harrison Ford in that scene, especially when they play the audio of the interview from the first movie of him talking to Rachel. His face, like really good acting here, man.
Oh yeah.
But did you trip out when Wallace brought out a brand new replicant of Rachel? Did you trip out in the theater? Were you going, "Whoa, what's going on?" Or were you like, "That looks really bad"?
I thought it looks not. It could have been better.
Okay.
You mean like really? If you talk about the special effects,
Yeah.
I think it could have been better done.
I've seen worse though.
Yeah, I've seen worse. So also,
like Jeff Bridges from Tron Legacy was bad.
Right. But then Legacy was like what, at least 8 years more.
That's
ago.
true.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, I think they did the best they could here.
Yeah. We've seen worse.
Yeah, we've seen worse. I agree. And I remember that line now.
Okay.
I remember that line when Wallace said, "You are a wonder to me, Mr. Decker."
Ah.
So to me, whatever CGI shortcoming in that Rachel scene really secondary to read the point of that scene, because there's several revelations in that scene. The first one was, from what Wallace told Deckard, it's almost as if Deckard was designed to fall in love with Rachel.
That's what I was going to bring up. I have to hear your theory on that, because when he said that, I was like, "Oh, maybe you guys were meant to meet." You ever think about that? You were programmed to meet and do the deed.
Mm-hmm.
That blew my mind. I was like, "Wait a minute, wow."
Yeah.
So what do you think? Do you think that's a possibility?
I think definitely. And then of course he's kind of like giving him this Faustian bargain. Like, if you tell me how was she able to reproduce and all that stuff, I'll give you this ratio. You can have your ratio back.
Right.
In exchange, you tell me everything that I want, and all what happened between you and her, all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
But of course he refused, because to him there could only be just one ratio.
Right.
So
another way we can forgive the CGI is, he just called it out too. He's like, her eyes are green or something.
Right. Again,
you fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucked up. But in the theater, when I watched that scene in the theater, you can feel how sad, like, the audience is really reacting to that scene, because Harrison Ford was so goddamn great in that scene.
Yeah.
Just the sadness, his grief, it's just perfectly portrayed. Yeah, like
and then Love just shoots her in the head.
Yeah. Like you said, like,
we're done with that one.
Right. Like you said, her eyes are green. Like when he said that line, it's like, oh man.
That was good. That was good. But yeah, back to our boy. So with Kay here. So what did you think about the replicants that wanted him to kill Decker? What do you think about that group? And it seems like the movie forgot about that group. Like, they showed up.
Oh, the freedom movement folks?
Yeah. It seemed like the movie, they showed up and then they were like, "We want a revolution."
I think they were there mainly to just tell Kay,
okay,
you're not the boy.
Okay.
That was the main purpose. Right? Let him know. Oh, the person, the one that we saved was actually the girl.
Okay.
The boy actually died. That the bones of the boy's bones.
Right. And she's like, "Oh, you thought you were the boy?
I know.
Or you were the son?" Yeah. That's kind of messed up. I'm like, damn.
That is kind of messed up. Again, like I said, it's Pinocchio. It's really a Pinocchio story,
Yeah.
He so much wants to be human.
Yeah.
And to find out that he really isn't. So I mean, that scene.
And she says the line, fight for something. What would she say? It was like, fight for something, a worthy cause.
Yeah, fight for a worthy cause. Right?
If you're going to go out, make sure you fight for a worthy cause or something like that.
So I guess that's also, the scene also is kind of like a motivation for him to rescue Deckard.
Right.
So, I mean, it served that purpose. But I agree. I think the movement folks it could have been maybe more, portrayed a bit more. But I think it served the purpose of the film, I think.
Okay. Now, what did you think of this scene?
Oh, that is such a sad scene.
Right? It's like it's like it seemed like it was Joy, right?
Yeah, that was
Joy.
Right.
It seemed like she did love him, even though she wasn't real. And
Right.
then apparently she's everywhere.
Right.
Part of the advertisement, part of that technology.
Right.
Joy.
Right. Right. And yeah, I mean, to her, I mean, him. This is just so sad for him to realize that. Yeah, maybe I have a Joy who once loved me, but in the end, again, they're just a tool. They're just a toy for.
Right.
They're just
Right.
a toy of desire.
Right.
And of course that just makes him miss the joy that he had even more. Right.
Yeah.
Especially in the end when he could hear Joy said I love, like
Right.
of course he should say I love you, but then
Right.
she got destroyed.
Do you think he was also sad because he was just kind of like,
He's
man,
sad, but then
what was it real? Was it real?
Right, exactly. Like no, that's a good point. To him, it's like, is this really real? Like, is love just a fake one? Like
Right.
is her love for me just an artificial one? Was she just designed to love me? Again, yeah. So, like I said, again, this is a further expansion of could an operation system grow a soul,
right,
and become flesh, right? But that menage a trois scene kind of hinted that that's what they desire. They want not only to grow a soul, they eventually want to become human. They want to become flesh, especially in the case of his Joy, right? So,
right. And of course, he hears again the motivational words of the character earlier. Like if you're gonna die, if you're gonna go out, fight for fight for a worthy cause, kind of thing. And then instead of, like you said, instead of going out to kill Decker, he goes to rescue him.
Right.
And
make your life worth it. Makes your purpose. Yeah, makes your like makes your life a worthy cause, like they said.
Yeah.
Worthy purpose. And to him, now the purpose is to save, not to kill, not to end the life.
Right.
So
and
he
shoots down the.
Right. Sorry, he really saved two people. He saved both Deckard and his daughter.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. But yeah, shoots down the vehicle he was in, and then we have our final confrontation at the end of the movie. Him versus Love here, who going gangster style for some reason in this GIF here, and then of course he kind of takes her out. They kind of take each other out, really. And then he leads Decker to his daughter. Now, in your opinion,
I know you're going to ask me that. Go ahead.
Here we go. First, Decker does show up.
Right.
And does meet his daughter. And then the movie. I'm glad how the movie just faded out here, and it didn't make him like, oh, they're embracing or anything. That would have been too sweet. I like how he's just now seeing her for the first time, and she's meeting him, and then to black, right?
Yeah, and also she's seeing his dad for the first. Her dad.
Right.
Right.
But
remember at that scene though, she has yet to know who this guy is.
Right.
She has no idea who this guy is. Of course, they're going to find out. But yeah, no, I think the film ended. Yeah, that's the way it should end, right there.
Now, theory time.
I know you're going to ask me
that. Is Kay dead?
I know you're going to ask me that, and I have just the answer for you. Remember, as he slowly crawls up to that steps, and then lies down.
Okay.
What music were you hearing in the background?
Was that the same music when Rutger's characters died? When Batty died?
The Tears of Rain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So he's dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
To me, the music implies that his time is up.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. I thought it sounded familiar. All right. There you go. Question theory has been solved. There you go. It has been answered. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed the movie. I looked up to see if it bombed. It didn't. In a way, it did. It like the worldwide gross, I think, saved it. But it's probably one of those where I think maybe it's looked at as a bomb because they projected more, right? They wanted to make more.
I think it made a total of $296 million worldwide, but the budget was like 160 or 100.
So since this is considered a bomb to them, I'm surprised they're having Denny do Dune. I'm actually surprised because usually Hollywood doesn't really work like that. They're like, oh, we gave you all this money and you buy this movie bombed. I'm surprised they're giving him a trilogy. I'm surprised that's happening.
It really. Now I'm not 100% sure whether it was Warner that wanted to make Dune or it was Denise that wanted to make Dune. I think.
Oh,
I don't know. I haven't done thorough research on that because I knew that he has always wanted to do Dune. But
right.
I'm not. Yeah. So maybe he brought the project to Warner Brothers and they said, okay, we'll let you do it. So that's possible. But I
Okay.
think Warner's thought was to do something as epic as Dune. Who else can do it? Think about it. I mean, what other director do you have in mind right now?
Brett
That can actually
Ratner.
do Dune?
No, I'm kidding.
I
I'm
can't think
kidding.
of anybody. What?
Yeah, I said Brett Ratner. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh man,
But
Brian.
no,
I
you're
mean,
right. It's
okay,
a
I
good
cannot
point.
imagine like you're right. I mean, he has his past history, right? You
Right.
have Arrival, you have this
Mm-hmm.
film, so he has this sci-fi track history. That
Is
really,
Enemy considered sci-fi in a way, or no? That's more thriller, or is that
Enemy is more thriller, I think.
okay? Okay. Okay. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like he has his sci-fi track record.
That's
Although not,
true.
we're not don't we shouldn't. I mean, let's not look at the box office. It's just the fact that he was able to make these thoughtful sci-fi films.
Right.
And this one with the superb visuals. He's really I don't want to say the best man for the job. He's probably like the only man for the job right
Probably.
now, right?
Yeah. I don't. As amazing as Steven Spielberg is, Steven Spielberg doing Dune probably be weird. It'd
Yeah.
be too whimsical.
But with that said though, I am a big fan of David Lynch film. I really like that film,
I've
and
never seen it.
oh my god! And I think you should not see it, and I'll tell you
Okay.
why. Because if you have seen David Lynch Dune, you're bound to be disappointed in his new version because you already knew how the story is going to end.
Oh, okay. So
Right?
wait till after the
Yeah, no,
trilogy.
way afterwards. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But then the problem again though is he's only made part one.
Oh,
Denise has only made part one.
right.
So the part two is banking on this film being successful, and the fact that it's going to be on HBO Max on the same day, I don't think it's going to be successful. And what pissed me off the most is this film is going to be released overseas this Thursday, 5 weeks before it comes out.
What?
In the
Wow.
US. Coming out of Hong Kong this Thursday, 2 days from, or 1 day
Yeah.
because they're 15 hours ahead. So
Right.
my friends were bought tickets to see it tomorrow. It's like what?
Wow.
Yeah, so imagine this 5 weeks, which
Yeah.
can of course lead to pirates, bootlegs version floating around the
Oh
internet.
shit!
So
That's
that's going
right.
to hurt it. And then of course the fact that it's going to come out day and day on HBO Max is going to hurt it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I hope he gets to make part two, which means if you really don't want to know what happened to the story, you got to hold on watching the David Lynch version until part two comes out.
Okay. All right.
But like I said,
Well, what's your thoughts on, since we're talking HBO Max? What's your thoughts on Matrix coming out? Because that's both.
I can't wait to see it.
No, I mean, what do you think?
I think
That's
it's
coming
going to
out.
hurt it. I think the fact that it's
Yeah.
going to be on HBO Max is going to hurt it. I think Warner should really have been flexible,
Yeah.
not outright said, okay, all of our 2021 releases is going to be on HBO Max. Now, granted, Godzilla vs. Kong was a success,
Yeah.
even though it came out on HBO Max. I think it's because at that time, remember, that was at the time when the COVID thing actually started dying down, when theaters started reopening. And so you
Right.
have this crowd who's dying to go back to theaters.
I think
And
Mortal
not the-
Kombat did good too.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat did good too. So that was back
Yeah.
in March and April.
Right.
So that was
Right.
when COVID finally started dying down. So there was this glimmer of hope, remember, with the vaccine.
Everyone's excited to watch movies
right.
again.
And then
Right.
theaters, you know what, we're reopening. Yay, we're going
Right.
to keep it clean and shit. You can wipe your seats, So,
Yeah.
so there were this crowd who are diehard movie lovers that can't wait to go back to see it. Back then, like in last July, when they kind of reopened with Tenet, there's still a lot of skeptics, right? Because at that time there's no vaccines. So
Right.
Tenet really kind of didn't do too well. But by the time Godzilla vs. Kong and Mortal Kombat came around,
Right.
there was this joy. That was all, of course, it was all before the Delta
Yeah.
variant and shit. So people were feeling confident and optimistic. So
Yeah.
that's why you started having people going back to the movie theaters again. F9 did well. Black Widow did okay,
Yeah.
did well.
Right.
Not as good as it should be. But then those are the time when people were still willing to go back to the theaters, right? But I
Right.
think Matrix, I don't know. I think Warner should really have say, you know what? we're gonna push back on the HBO Max by even like 3 weeks or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Let it play in Christmas exclusively, bro.
Yeah.
Let it play 2 weeks in theater. Okay, we're gonna change this. It will still be on HBO Max. It'll come out January 1st or January 2nd after the New Year. But for the first 2 weeks, theater exclusive. You gotta go see it in theater.
Right.
What's
They
wrong
should.
with that?
They should do
wrong with that.
Right.
But I think they already make all these settlements deals with the artists. I think it's.
I mean, there's advertisements. You've seen the advertisements, the red pill and the blue pill.
Mm-hmm.
They're like there's paid advertisements from them showing the red and blue pill, and it says HBO Max or theaters.
Yeah.
Which one? It's like
I know. It's
you're like not.
Yeah.
You're not fighting it at all. You're like accepting it.
I mean, that's like I think this is really the biggest film of this year. You have all these. You have some. Warner has some of their shares of good film this year, right? You have the Godzilla, you have Mortal Kombat, and then you have what else is good? What else is big?
Well, Dune's coming out.
Isn't Dune, right? And Dune,
right.
To me, nothing is as big as The Matrix.
It's a big comeback. It's a big comeback movie. Yeah.
And although it still surprises me that lots of people in their 20s, or like late teens or 20s, have never seen The Matrix.
I'm not surprised.
When people tend to forget the first film came out 23 years ago.
1999. I'll never forget it.
Yeah,
I'll never forget it, man.
I went to the world premiere.
Oh, nice.
I saw Keanu Reeves. I saw Carrie-Anne Moss. I saw the Wachowski brothers, and I even asked them a question about why they have a Hong Kong guy as the action director. I said, why Yuen Wo Peng? Why not Cheng Siu Dong?
Right.
And they actually replied. They said, because we love Hong Kong action, and Iron Monkey, which Yuen Wo Peng directed and action choreographed, they said Iron Monkey is our favorite fucking Hong Kong movie.
That's awesome.
That's what they said. That's why we have to have Yuen Wo Peng.
Yeah. Well, another reason why they loved Iron Monkey, because Lou Diamond Phillips was in it. Oh man, check out that video, Lou Diamond Phillips on the channel. You will laugh hysterically. Funny movie theater.
But like I said, going back to the fate of K in the closing scenes. I mean,
very well done.
Some people say, it's open to interpretation. To me, it's not. To me, when you hear that music, the Tears and Rain, that's the hint right there. That's the clue right there. He's done.
So, speaking of music, what did you think of the soundtrack?
It has its moments. Hans Zimmer has his moments. I think it was actually more than Hans Zimmer. It was
another. It was him and another guy.
And one other dude. I'm trying to remember the name, but it was two people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it has its moment. I like the themes, some of the themes, and I like using when the music used in the scenes of joy. I think those are good.
It fits the movie, I guess.
It fits the movie exactly. It fits the movie, but I think at times it was just too thumping for me. It was just a lot of boom, boom, boom.
You're expecting Batman to show up or something.
I know. It's just a bit, the pace is just a bit too much for me.
So the original soundtrack is still the best.
Yeah, original soundtrack still the best. Like you said, this soundtrack fits the movie.
Right.
But it's not as good. Oh, Benjamin Wallfish is the guy.
Okay. Yeah.
Benjamin Wallfish and Hans Zimmer did the score.
Right.
There's a lot of there's some nice synth jazz and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the bass, there's just a little bit too much bass at times.
It's like the original soundtrack from the first movie. It's just a little bit more atmospheric.
Right.
You feel like you're flying. Like you're there.
Here you have moments where there's the music, where you can say the music is just nothing but boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. Wow.
Right. Nothing wrong with that.
No, it fits the movie. It fits. All right, so before we give our verdict, I'm pretty sure everybody knows what we're going to say, but let's get into the nitpicks, man. The nitpicks. All right. I'm going to go foist. So, remember, it was my first time watching it. Now, the first time I watched Blade Runner, the final cut, which was a long time ago, I enjoyed it a lot. It was slow burn, but I still liked it. It wasn't until like 5 or 6 years later when I rewatched it for our episode, it went by faster for me. I enjoyed the movie more. I liked it a lot more watching it again, to where I can have it on in the background. Like I can have, I listen to audio commentary right after I watched the movie. I enjoyed it more. The second time watching it, it felt faster. This is my first viewing of this. So even though I am completely used to slow burns, okay, I enjoy The Witch. I enjoy Nicolas Cage's Pig. I'm all about slow burn, okay? Right? I'm used to it. I don't know, at some point, maybe you called it out earlier, maybe in the middle of the movie, it was dragging. For me, it was kind of dragging a little bit. Do you know the time difference between this and the final cut?
Well, you mean how long it is?
Yeah. Is it the same?
This film is much longer.
Okay.
This film
Okay.
is 2 hours and 43 minutes, 163 minutes.
Yeah.
This film is at least half an hour longer than Blade Runner Final Cut. At least.
Okay.
And to
Okay.
me,
That's where it is.
To me, for some reason, the part that dragged for me
Yeah.
was the scene between Wallace and Deckard. I think that scene kind of just dragged on a little bit too long.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's just because of how Jared Leto plays Wallace.
Right.
I think just the style of acting that somehow to me is kind of like, so kind of drag out just a little.
Okay.
But like to me,
would you have preferred David Bowie? Because I heard the original casting choice was supposed to be David Bowie, but he passed away. Bowie. That would have been interesting.
No, Bowie would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Bowie would have been magnetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting. But
I think it makes sense that he would want Bowie because I think Bowie's son, Duncan Jones, and Denise are like good friends.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Duncan Jones, of course, is a good director in his own right.
Right.
He's a great director.
Moon is great.
I like Moon. Moon's a fantastic film.
Yeah.
So I understand why he would want David Bowie to be in the film. Yeah, but,
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That was better than my bootleg British. You don't want to hear mine; it's pretty terrible. But yeah, it did. Well, there it is. It's 30-something minutes longer than the original. There it is. Okay. So that's why it kind of dragged at some points for me. Another thing that was a little bit of a nitpick was the Blade Runner series. They're not an action series. They're film noir in the future mystery series.
Right.
But I think the first movie was the first of its kind. I think in this one, I think they could have chopped a little bit less of taking out some of the dragon moments, and maybe just put in comparison, this movie has more action than the original.
Oh yeah,
it does.
Oh, yeah, it does.
But I would after watching those prologues, the separate stories had more action in the prologues than this movie. I think we could have added just a little bit more action. I think, but this doesn't ruin my movie enjoying experience. I'm being nitpicky. That's what they call it, nitpicks. You know what I mean? Just a little. I think a little bit. Like the whole finale. I think that last end fight confrontation could have been a little bit more exciting.
No, I agree. With that. I think there could have been a little bit more dialogue in that last fight.
Right.
Especially between Love and Deckard.
Yeah.
I wish there was some kind of exchange where, I wish there was some kind of like a Batman Joker exchange, as in Tim Burton's Batman, where I create, you idiot, you create, you make me remember, that sort of dialogue. I think that would have been right. You have this old replicant and a new, they're both assassins. Think about it, they're both assassins, and their job is to kill others. And so here you have this old generation and new generation assassins together in this close space. I just wish there was some kind of a dialogue exchange, or maybe like Deckard trying to persuade her to, you're just a slave to Wallace. You know what you're doing. I mean, that kind of thing. Trying to wake her up, so to speak. But nothing like that.
Yeah, it was. He was just kind of just chilling.
Right, he was chilling in the wall.
The last nitpick, and then I'll give it to you. Last nitpick. Wallace just disappeared from the movie. He didn't die, or he didn't get away, or we didn't see what his next plan was going to be. Like he was still going to go after Deckard and his daughter. He just disappeared right after the scene between him and Deckard, which was, I liked the scene because Harrison Ford's acting is really good, even though it did drag. But it was like, what happened? That felt like we're gonna get a third movie, so it'll all be answered in the third film. That's what it kind of felt like. What are your nitpicks?
Okay, so I have basically 3 nitpicks, and I think I already mentioned 2 of them. Well, one of them definitely is the I felt that the film kind of drags in that scene between Wallace and Deckard. To me, this film No, like it had my attention all the way from the start, right until Decker got kidnapped and brought to Wallace's place. I thought
Oh,
that everything came before was perfect.
right,
Perfect.
right.
Perfect detective story, perfect
Mm-hmm.
mystery, perfect exploration of the theme.
Yeah,
It's just perfect, just the pacing, everything. But for some reason, once they got to see Wallace there, to me that scene just somehow didn't work as well as it should be. I
right.
knew what they're trying to say. Again, like I said, I knew that he's trying to kind of force Decker to, review the secrets behind Rachel's reproduction
Yeah,
capability, and then he's trying to entice him with this new Rachel. I just felt that scene could have done better, but I can't explain how they could
right.
done better. I'm not the director.
Maybe turn the lights on.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, what was your other ones?
Well, the second nitpick was um, oh shoot, I'm trying to remember what I just want to say. The second nitpick was some of the, like I said, mentioned before, some of the mysteries got reviewed. Yeah, and I wish that we could have kept it, kept some of the mysteries in.
What was one of the? Just remind me. What was one of the mysteries that you did not want to know?
I think all the K's mystery I like. I
Okay.
like the fact that he found out that he's really just a replicant. That
Right.
I like. I like that. That's good. That's a good story arc.
Right.
Um, I just think that the technology stuff about how they can reproduce or how like the interlink. I mean, there's some things that I felt that I could have left unspoken. That's all.
Gotcha.
I
Right.
mean, I like the ambiguity of most of the stuff. Like you think about you ask like, is Kate dead or not? I like that ambiguity, but to me, it's pretty clear cut. But some people might not realize that, right? Because there's a lot of
Right.
subtle things in the film that you kind of have to concentrate to
Right.
to to find out. But I
Okay.
wish there were more exploration of the world of
Mm.
Kate initially in the police station. You know,
Right.
I wish we knew more about the other people, why they hate him so much. Like, they call him
Yeah.
names. They
And
call him.
they killed Coco, man.
I know. They go.
He
Yeah.
was the best character. No, I'm just kidding.
Mhm.
Coco
Yeah.
got fucked up.
But it's just the fact that there's certain things that they kind of like review or explain that I thought, do you really have to spend so much time explaining it? That's all.
It was kind of like in the original, we were introduced to these side characters, but you remember
Mhm.
them, kind of thing, right?
Right.
Like this one,
Right.
it's you don't really remember Coco
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
anyone else outside of Kay. Like the guy he ran into, the Kay that ran into the head, kind of like the child labor
Mhm.
factory or whatever.
Right.
What happened to that guy?
Yeah.
That guy just walked out of the room and you never
Right.
saw him again.
Right.
I didn't do it, and then he just left. I was like, oh, I thought we were going to see that guy again. Oh well.
Hmm. Which leads me to my third nitpick. I think, and that is my concern about this film's status as compared to Blade Runner. I mean, Blade Runner is both visually gorgeous and also the
Right.
theme that it explores good. Here, um, I'm sure this film will it definitely required repeated viewing because
Yeah.
some of the mysteries are too deep, and some of the mysteries really don't depend on what happened in the film. But here, I think what happened was, again, let's go back to my second nitpick, which is some of the puzzles. And once some of the puzzle in the film got snapped into place, and I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It's not that the mystery was solved; the mystery
Right.
is still there, but some of the like the storyline. I think this film's concerned with the narrative that everything has to tie together.
Gotcha.
Lacks some of the creative intrigue that the first film has, which
Right.
makes it somewhat more haunting. And
Right.
and and,
It
and
makes you ask questions.
exactly, it makes you ask questions.
Yeah.
This film still makes you ask questions, but a lot of the questions got answered. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha.
Can you imagine?
That
what if
makes
this film
sense.
right? What if this film never told you that Kay is actually a replicant? Can just imagine that, right? What if
That's
Kay never
true,
found
huh?
out? What if
Yeah.
Kay never found out that he is a replicant and that he's not Harrison Ford's son?
That would be crazy.
That would be
No.
crazy.
Do you have the same nitpick with me with Jared Leto? Like he just disappeared? Like,
Of course, character.
yeah, okay.
There's no completion. There's no. Yeah, it doesn't. It kind of feel hanging in the air, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So and my concern about this film is 20 years or 30 years later, we might say this film was more style than substance.
I could see that.
Right, whereas Blade Runner is both style and substance, and
Right.
that's my concern because I want this film to gain the same kind of status is going to gain. And I want this film to be as revered as much as the first film. Right now, 4 years.
It's probably not going to happen. If you want me to be honest right now, man.
Right.
I mean, I enjoyed this, but I like the first one better.
Right.
But I enjoyed this enough to rewatch it again. Like, I don't mind watching it again.
Yeah, and I can honestly tell you, I've only rewatched this film once,
Okay.
and I liked it. I really liked it, and I like I said again, I thought the entire film from the beginning up to he got kidnapped by Wallace, I think is as good as the Blade Runner, really as good as Blade Runner. But I think from that point on, something happened.
Yeah. Were you a little disappointed that as soon as Deckard got captured, he didn't do anything action wise after? Like, that was it. That was a wrap. I mean, he punched a few replicants, but then once he got captured, he didn't do anything else. I think fans or maybe some people wanted to see him use that gun and maybe take out Leto or
Well, if you expect the film to be an action film, yes. To me, story-wise, it's kind of logical that he's devastated by the time he's at Wallace.
Yeah,
he's emotionally shattered because remember again, like I said, lost his wife, lost his kid, and then all these years later, all of a sudden, this guy show up looking for him, and then all hell broke loose. Got sent back. He got taken back to. It's really like the second iteration of Tyrell. He's back to Tyrell 2.0, and then to have this dilemma of whether giving up the secret or in exchange for the ratio. To him is emotionally shattering, which to me is fine. But I see a point though, especially near the end when he fought Lux. I really think that scene with Lux somehow could have been better.
Yeah,
really could have been better. I think 4 was
it just felt like, oh, we're done. I'm just gonna drown her, and all right.
Right.
I was expecting like rip the throat out or something, but it was just like, no, I'm just gonna drown you.
And again, like I said, I just hoping for more dialogue. That's all.
Yeah.
It was a perfect chance for Denis or Monsieur Villeneuve to really explore more the themes, between two replicants. I mean, come on, that was just a perfect opportunity to speak to her, and somehow he missed. And remember, and of course, and also the fact that she cries. Lux, tears.
Oh yeah.
Remember when she is happy or whatever, when she has emotion or something, or she wants to kill someone, she cries. Why?
Yeah.
Why is that? Why would a replicant cry?
Right. Yeah, more dialogue, I think.
Yeah.
A little bit more dialogue, a little bit more action.
That character could be better portrayed, better exploited. I just felt.
Right. I mean, she showed all kinds of emotion, especially in this scene right here. Like, look at this.
Yeah. Right. I mean, in a way, I kind of wish that she's a little bit more sympathetic. Not just in a way. Like here in the end, it's kind of like she's kind of like your stereotypical villain.
Right. Like mustache twirling.
Right. Yeah, I don't want her to be the stereotypical villain. I want her to be kind of like Roy Batty. Roy Batty is not a villain. Really, if you think about it, the real
he's so great.
Yeah.
I miss Rutger.
The real villain in that film is really Tyrell.
Is that another? Is that another maybe minor nitpick? Is that we didn't have a memorable antagonist
in this film or the
previous film? This one.
In this film?
Yeah.
Maybe, but then again, do you really want a villain in this film? I don't know. I mean, like.
That's true.
Yeah, to me, Wallace should have been the villain, and she's just in some way Wallace is the villain.
He is kind of
Yeah, he wants to he wants to be the ultimate, creator. He wants to, exploit these replicants, and he wants to, he just wants to be the ultimate, the ultimate creator, and Lux is just carrying out his deeds. So to me, Lux is really not a villain. Lux is a tragic figure, if you ask me.
Right. Yeah. But, that's interesting too. Yeah, if you look at her that way.
Yeah.
Even what did Kay say earlier when as soon as he met her, he was like, "Oh, he named you. You must be his favorite or something like that." So
exactly.
That was interesting.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah. And also, there's a lot of analogy to Kafka. Like Kay's name may be Kafka because in the point, I think some point in the film somebody called him Joe.
Right.
Yeah, so Kafka's, Joseph Kafka. So Joe. So, yeah.
Right. This was a blast talking movies with you as always. But here's the thing: I already know your answer. Is this underrated? Yes, for Frank. Right? This is underrated. I'm going to agree, even though I've seen the movie once. I'm going to agree. I found it to be very entertaining. It felt like you literally could go from this movie, the first film, into this one. It expanded on the lore. Despite its shortcomings, I feel like this movie doesn't deserve to be completely forgotten.
Right.
Now, I get it. I saw all those comments, man. There's a lot of people that hate this movie, and that's perfectly fine. To each his own, right? But comparing this to basically, there's people out there that think that this ruins the first one. That this is like the Terminator 3 coming after Terminator 2. That's what I've seen comments like that. Like people were like, "This is so bad, it completely ruins or this horrible sequel." I'm like, no, okay. Just because you were bored, or you were bored, and you didn't get what you wanted, doesn't mean it's on Terminator 3 level. No, I'm sure a lot of them would rather watch Terminator 3 over this, which is fine. To each his own.
No, this is brainy, thoughtful sci-fi. And he
traditional sci-fi.
Right.
Yeah.
And to me, he expanded the legacy. He expanded the Blade Runner legacy. This movie is not repetitive at all. This is not Blade Runner 2.0.
Right.
This is not, to me, this is not even a sequel. This is a continuation.
Mm-hmm.
He's not improving it. He's not replacing it.
Right.
He is, to me, okay, both films now work together. And in a way, enrich each other instead of mimicking each other.
Right.
They both ask timeless questions.
Mm-hmm.
And the great films, they refuse to give you all the answers. It lets you debate. It raises questions that allows you to debate and discuss the meaning, instead of being just like a recipient of all this mindless entertainment.
Right.
It brings issues. It expands the issue. Come on, slavery, racism, what it means to be human. All that stuff. And what it means to be human, to have free thought. All the replicants want is freedom.
Yeah.
He even named that movement the Replicant Freedom Movement.
Right.
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 So really, this is really about what does it mean to be free, and all the replicants in both films, they just want to be free. In addition to want to be human, but one thing that human enjoy that the replicants don't is freedom. So that's what they ultimately. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, yes, of course, the desire is to be human, but ultimately what they want is freedom. And to me, the second film complemented the first film perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's very entertaining. I enjoyed it. I will watch it again. I actually want to watch it again.
Yeah, and
that's a good sign that I want to actually revisit it again.
Yeah, look, it would have been just easy for him, or for Denis or Warner Brothers, to reboot Blade Runner, just continuing the story between Deckard and Rachel. Now, with that said, I'm not saying that The Matrix Resurrection is going to be bad, because it looks, based on what we've seen so far, it does look like there are things that hint is sort of kind of like a reboot, sort of continuing the story between Trinity and Neo. But I have hope that it's going to be different. Okay, I hope that it's going to be vastly different. But like I said, here,
and the trailer makes it look like it's a mystery.
Right. Exactly.
Which is good for Resurrection.
Like I said, here he could have just, if he wanted, then he's any director.
Yeah, popcorn movie, lots of action. Yeah. Fuck the message.
Like he could have just fulfilled some of the people's desires. Like, I want to know what happened to Deckard and Rachel 30 years from when they left, when they walked into that elevator. Well, or Blasphemy, just remake the whole damn film. Like.
Oh my
I don't want
God!
to say Doom. Doom is a remake if you think about it, right? I mean.
Oh well, Doom. Oh yeah.
The new Doom is really a remake. I'm not trashing Doom. I think it's great that Doom is going to be.
Or is it just based off the book?
Yeah, it's based off the book, right? It's based off the book. I think it's great that this new generation. I mean, look, I'm surprised that so many people haven't seen or known about David Lynch version, which I think is great. I think it's fun because if they're going to go see this Doom, if they like it, they're going to say, you know what, I'm going to check out David Lynch version or even read the book. That to me is fantastic. Always great to go back to see the original version. But again, like I said, you have all these films that were inspired by the first Blade Runner. Matrix, of course, is inspired by Blade Runner.
Yeah, Terminator.
Terminator, of course.
Yeah,
But Villeneuve was able to still expand the legacy, expand the themes.
You can tell that he wanted to do the best that he could to treat this movie with respect for the first one. You could tell, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I get it. These movies, they're not for everyone, and it's perfectly fine. To each his own. However, if you're fans of these movies. You got to agree with us that this movie in particular is underrated. The fact that the world has completely forgotten that it exists. Come on,
man.
That's how we're putting this in perspective. That I had the 4K for years, and I forgot I own this. Okay, but yeah, it was entertaining. Visuals were phenomenal. It was very well done. I want to watch it again. Oh, what do you got there? Is that yours?
Yeah,
oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely. Because if you like the film, definitely consider getting this book. They are in Soul Blade Runner.
Is there one for the first film as well, like an art book?
So. I'm sure there is, but like I said, from the last time we did the Blade Runner one.
Yeah.
Remember, I brought up the Ridley Scott book.
Oh, okay.
The Ridley Scott book. So that book has a nice
images in there. Oh, okay.
On the
cool.
First Blade Runner. But this book, man, I mean, this is just gorgeous stuff.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. Look at that, the iconic scene here. So
yeah.
You really, if you love the film, you really should get this book. Really
nice.
Really get this book. Yes.
Nice. $40. That's not bad.
I think it's around $40. It
might be cheaper now. You never know. Oh God. Oh, but anyway, it's always fun and a blast talking movies, whether it's sci-fi, martial arts, action. You know how we do. We always have fun talking movies together with my brother from another mother, Frank Jang, the master of remaster. Thank you, my friend, for hanging out with the Samurai Guy today. That's right, everybody watching, make sure you follow his wake, his wonderful wake. That's right, 88 Films, Eureka, Blu-ray, audio commentaries, man. That's where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Support all of those projects because they're kicking ass and taking names. 88 Films in Eureka, man, releasing awesome movies for us. So
I have 7 audio commentaries I need to do by the end of October.
Oh my God, 7.
7.
See, they know you're the man. That's why, man. No one's calling Samurai for audio commentary. That would actually be hilarious, though. I think that would be funny. She just cut his head off right there. Woo, that was hilarious. Yeah, that's it.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, man. Until next time, we got to do this again. I'm sure you have more underrated films we could talk about. Definitely. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the old Samurai Guy. To what?
Prometheus.
Oh, shit. Oh, no. We shall see, my friend. We shall see.
All
right. Yeah, we'll see. All right, guys. Take care, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.